umano circling. Hindi naman pala totoo yung circling. Talaga ang ABS-CBN mahilig mag... Nasaan ba yung...
So what do we know, sir, as far as that is concerned?
Because I want to call
Maybe
the
they're
attention...
tumbling or something?
I will call the attention of that reporter. Ang ABS-CBN. No, hindi. Ito, I'll read to you. Sinabi sa akin.
Okay.
Hindi, importante yun kasi nagiging it unnecessarily raises some serious alarm. Hindi naman pala umiikot, nandun naka-standby lang. Nandun lang naka-standby, nagmo-monitor siguro. Monitoring.
Okay, sir. Game.
Teka. The reporter, referring to the ABS-CBN reporter, sino ba yun? Sembrano? The reporter made an exaggerated report by distorting the total number of Chinese fishing vessels monitored in Pag-asa Island. She also used alarming statement as Chinese vessels, quota, have been circling Pag-asa Island, which was never mentioned in the briefing presentation. Like yung total daw ng 617, hindi mo pala totoo yun. Kasi ang basis ng monitoring ng Western Command, yung bow. Yun yung part ng ship eh. Para iisa lang, bow, B-O-W, bow. Kasi yun ang binibilang nila kung ilang araw nandun. Ang total pala, 275 lang, hindi 617.
All right, sir. Who are you quoting again? When you said exaggerating the number and then used alarming language, what are you reading from?
It's from the Western Command.
Oh.
Sino ba ito?
Who specifically, sir?
Let me see. Vice Admiral Rene Medina of the Western Command.
Vice Admiral Rene.
Medina of the Western Command.
This
It was forwarded to me by Secretary of National Defense,
All right.
Delphine Lorenzana.
Sir, later.
It was their exchange and it was just, because I was asking, ano ba story nito?
Okay. So, sir, can we get a copy later of the text also, ha?
Hindi, yung portion na yun. I can,
Okay, so right now, what do we know so far? We can only acknowledge 275 Chinese fishermen.
200,
75, you said?
yes.
Not
These are, they describe it as Chinese maritime. Ano ba tawag nila doon?
These are not the PLA,
Hindi fisherman eh. Parang tawag. May tinawag.
People's Liberation Army?
No.
No.
Hindi.
What do you call that?
Hinahanap ko.
Militia?
Yan, militia. Tawag
Oh,
nila
they're
din.
saying it's the militia.
Parang militia ang description
No, we have to
nila.
be definite, sir. Are they
Hindi,
calling it
hindi
the militia?
army, hindi rin, hindi rin navy.
So militia is it?
Parang ganun ang, hindi, I'm not sure. Basta, they're just stationary there.
Okay, number 2, fact.
Mga kumisa na 1 day, kumisa 1 week. Wala naman daw ginagawa, naka-standby lang doon.
Or number 1, 275. Number 2, you're contesting circling, but they are there, right?
They're there, but they were not circling the Pag-asa. The reporter of ABS-CBN said that
So
it
what's the
was
difference
circling.
between circling and...
Oh, ba, ibig sabihin, pag nag-circle, meron kang binabalak. Pero kasi stationary ka lang, baka nanonood ka lang o nakatingin ka lang.
Why are they there, sir?
I will ask the ambassador if that's true.
Are we not worried that they are there?
Anything that concerns the security of the Philippines will always be a concern.
This concerns the security?
And I understand, oh, by the way, I understand we have already issued the diplomatic protest per the Western Command. The DFA has already made the diplomatic protest over it.
Over what incident, sir? Because there are a
That
lot.
incident on the so-called vessels being stationed there.
Would you know the date of the fighting?
No, I don't know. I will have to ask the DFA.
Okay, yun muna, sir.
Follow-up, Ina?
Sir, if nag-file na po pala tayo ng protest, then it would imply that we see something wrong with their
Oh,
presence there.
definitely. Kasi the mere fact that they're there and just staying there for a week, bakit? Anong ginagawa ninyo dun?
Okay. Are you going to ask the Chinese ambassador to perhaps get the vessels out of there, of the area?
We will ask if this is true as far as they're concerned. And number two, if it is true, what are they doing there?
But wouldn't we file a diplomatic protest without verifying if it's true or not?
On their part, kasi these people may not be within the knowledge of the Chinese government, di ba? Hindi rin natin alam kung yun, kasama nila, inutusan nila, part of their group.
Sir, there was a report that came out over the weekend quoting a BFAR official telling
What's
Filipino
BFAR again?
Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, telling our fishermen to avoid panatag shoal. Tama, panatag, ano? Panatag shoal for the meantime para daw makaiwas ng, well, medyo vague yung statement, makaiwas ng some incidents. So what is that? Bakit ganon? Why are we telling our fishermen not
Hindi
to
ko alam.
fish
We
there?
will ask BFAR. I have not received any report on that yet.
Okay, but what guidance does the palace have for our fishermen who often go there?
Well, first, if it's true that there has been a diplomatic protest per the Western Command's information, then we've already done our part. And let's see how they will respond to the diplomatic protest.
Sir, last, dun sa 275 po, was it mentioned in the
Yeah.
text message to you,
Yeah.
yung period, kumbaga, is that 275 at that time?
The first quarter of 2019, from January to March.
Jan to March,
Yeah.
that's the peak number.
Basta yung
275.
buong quarter, yun ang total number.
Okay.
Okay, follow up. Ace Romero, I'm sorry.
So clarification, so ano po yung prinotesta?
Hindi ko alam. Basta yun ang pakalagay. We already informed the FA and we understand the FA has already issued a diplomatic protest over it.
Recent po ito?
I think so,
This
yes.
week ba or kahit
Hindi ko alam
exact?
ang exact date. I do not know.
Pero very recent lang.
We will ask the FA exactly when
Ito yung
and the
code
contents of the protest.
The Energy Department says no power interruptions are expected this summer. This after the Luzon grid went on yellow alert for several hours today. A yellow alert means the grid's reserves are below minimum level. Speaking to CNN Philippines, Energy Undersecretary Wimpy Fuentebella says our energy supply is enough.
The media would ask for yellow alert issued status na tinatanong kaagad tayo kung magkakaroon tayo ng brownout or power interruption. Hindi po, kasi reserva po ang pinag-uusapan. Pine-check natin maigi, sa monitoring natin, sapat yung supply.
Fuentebella adds that they are monitoring other factors such as increase in demand, efficiency of energy usage, maintenance of power plants, and voltage support. East Zone concessionaire Manila Water releasing the initial list of customers who will get a full bill waiver. Customers in these areas will not have to pay for their March bills. 44 barangays were severely affected by the water shortage, but the full list is still being validated. Classified as severely affected are those that had no water for at least 7 days. While not everyone will have their entire bill waived, Manila Water says all its 1.2 million customers will not have to pay the minimum charge for March. That's 77 pesos and 29 centavos for the so-called lifeline or low consumption customers, 626 pesos and 69 centavos for commercial users, and 723 pesos and 60 centavos for industrial consumers. What do you think about our top stories tonight? Send us a message at CNN Philippines. We're also live on Facebook. We'll read your comments at the end of the show. It's hashtag April Fool's Day, and the occasion is trending because of netizens' prank stories. Twitter user Fita shares her own mom played a prank on her by setting the alarm clock to ring an hour earlier. Fita says she ended up spending more to get to her 9 a.m. class, only to arrive way too early. One professor also gets in on the mischief. Luz Loreto says she got her hopes up when the professor said there was no exam, only to find out, quote, "Chinacharot kami ni sir." Kian Ryanan shares a bit of hugot. He tweeted, "Marami sigurong nagka-crush sa akin." Then adds, "I fooled myself." And more hugot from this netizen. She says kahit hindi April 1, marami pa ring nanloloko.
Sir, okay. First, sa China, you're meeting with. He's going here for a courtesy call.
April Fool's Day?
No, seriously.
Yeah, I think
You know
so.
that-
Yes, he'll be coming.
Okay, because
2:30 p.m.
Agenda.
He didn't tell me.
So
He
nagpasabi
didn't tell
lang.
me, basta sabi niya, he will visit me.
Are they taking over? Charing. No, but sir, any matters that you want to raise with him?
Well,
Or them?
di ba, there were issues raised in the South China Sea. Siguro I'll raise that.
Like what, sir? Specifically, there are a lot of
Yung
issues.
sa
with that.
fisherman, di ba? Kung totoo yun. Yung sa mga vessels.
Militia.